Welcome to this edition of the Talk of Simsbury. My name is Dominique Avery. Our show today is all about Simsbury's Second Chance Shop, which, if you've been there, you know is a wonderful shop with a big heart. Did you know that it's run by the Simsbury Auxiliary and has a very long history? The Simsbury Auxiliary was formed in 1954 by a group of 10 Simsbury women, some of whom had adopted children from the Village for Families and Children, then called Child and Family Services of Connecticut. At first, the new group had one goal: to have a fundraiser each year to benefit children's services. But as they noticed how quickly their children were outgrowing their clothes, it occurred to them that it might make more sense to provide an outlet for gently used children's clothing, and rather than having a fundraiser every year, they could open a shop. The first shop was called the Children's Clothing Exchange. It was opened in 1954 in the old probate building then on Wilcox Street. Open just one day a week, it had neither heating or plumbing. By the way, that building has been moved to the grounds of the Simsbury Historical Society and currently houses the Simsbury Land Trust. It was the very next year, in the spring of 1955, that the Great Flood ravaged the Farmington Valley. When members were finally able to get to the shop, some even by boat, they gathered all the clothing and donated it all to the Red Cross for flood victims. Despite this setback, the women were proud to present Family Services with a check for $600. 8 years later, in 1963, the shop expanded and moved again to Holloway's Plaza. It changed its name to the Children's Services Thrift Shop, and in 1968, added adult clothing to its inventory. By 1979, which was the shop's 25th anniversary year, the shop had donated over $132,000 to children's services. That year brought yet another relocation, this time to the Simsbury Town Shops. Almost a decade later, in 1988, the shop made its last move to the present location at 12 Station Street, and once again changed its name to the Second Chance Shop. It's now in a very busy location right across the street from Eno Memorial Hall and SCTV, and tucked right between Weldon Hardware and the new location of Vincent's Sports Shop. Like the shop, the Auxiliary's membership has continued to grow from 10 members in 1954 to the current 100 members, and the annual donation to the village has increased from $600 to $125,000 this past year. If you total it all up, in the past 65 years, the Simsbury Second Chance Shop has donated over $2,655,000. My guests here today to talk about the Second Chance Shop are Gail Korten, the co-president of the Simsbury Auxiliary Board, Patty Crawford, also a co-president, Susan Mueller, the shop's pricing chair, and Joanne Kenney, the decorating chair. Welcome to all of you. I'm really curious to know how all of you got involved with this wonderful organization as you celebrate your 65th anniversary. Gail, maybe I'll start with you.
Sure. I'm a second-generation member of the Simsbury Auxiliary. Growing up, my parents always volunteered with various organizations and set a good example for my sisters and me. So when I became a mother, I followed their lead and started working with organizations with my children's schools and sports groups. And then as they grew older, I kind of needed a new outlet. So I remembered back to when my mother worked at the Second Chance Shop and how much she enjoyed it. So never to try anything alone, I brought my friend Patty with me, and we signed up together to work at the shop. And we've been working there now for 12 years. Together, this experience has been not only fun, but very rewarding for us. A lot of hard work, but we've enjoyed watching our shop grow and become more successful over the years.
Well, it's a wonderful shop. Patty, how about you?
Like Gail, I too have been very active, always as a volunteer. When my kids were out of school and I was looking for something meaningful to fill my time, and Gail recommended the Second Chance Shop. It's been a wonderful journey for us. Since 2012, we started co-chairing. And I remember our first year, the auxiliary raised $70,000. And I was so proud. And I went home and I told my husband, look what we did for the village. And his response was that he was proud of us, but he thought with 100 volunteers, we should do a lot better. We had a lot of manpower behind us. So it's been an evolution. And Gail and I took a lot of time really thinking about what we can do in the shop, what to do to make it better, how to improve our sales. So we started focusing on the quality of the merchandise, the quality of how we displayed the merchandise. What did our customers really want when they're walking in the shop? What do they not want? So we kind of played around with the different categories of items that we sell. We focused in a lot on the sales that we offer, the frequency, how much discount we give, and our hard work and our attention. I think it really paid off. This past year, or actually throughout the last 8 years, we've increased our annual check by 80%. So it was a huge increase. And this last year, our auxiliary donated $125,000.
So you listened to your husband.
I did.
Susan, how about you?
Well, I was looking for a volunteer opportunity, and my friends here, Patty and Gail, provided me with one. I came on board just as a shop clerk for the first maybe 6 months, and then shortly after that, I became the pricing chair.
I was introduced to the Second Chance Shop by friends in my book group, Patty and Gail. Do you sense there's a pattern here?
I guess you all know each other pretty well.
I won't say we were strong on, but it was fun. And so I too have volunteered all my life in church, school, and professional types of projects. So volunteering at the shop was a very easy leap for me. So I jumped right in, and that was 7 years ago. And it's truly been a lot of fun. And my favorite part of being a volunteer there is working with the customers. I love it when they come in and I can say, can I help you? You going somewhere? I can help you find a dress or a shirt or whatever, or a beautiful piece for their home. So it's been fun.
So it sounds like you have fun and it's in a good cause.
We do.
Gail, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how the shop is set up for people who have never been there and what kinds of things you carry.
Sure. Well, I'm going to take you on a walking tour of our shop that is conveniently located between Weldon Hardware and Vincent's Sports Shop at 12 Station Street. Our hours are 9:30 to 4, Monday through Saturday. And you can tell we're open when you see those mannequins out on the sidewalk greeting you. As you enter our shop, you'll see all the women's area right in front with pants, dresses, tops. You will notice all our pants are conveniently bargain priced at $5. And you'll find labels such as White House Black Market, Talbot's, The Loft, Lucky Brand, anything you're looking for, and all pants will be $5. After you've put your outfit together, you can turn and go to our accessory wall where you'll find purses, belts, scarves, hats, anything else you want to add to complete your outfit. Continuing into the store, you'll come upon our jewelry counter that is always sparkling with beautiful jewels. You'll find anything from contemporary to vintage jewels, including sterling and 14 karat gold many times. And, if you see something and you like it, you better buy it right when you see it because it won't be there tomorrow. We have a dedicated men's department. We're finding that men are our biggest growing group of customers. We have all their items set right together. And again, their pants and shirts are all bargain priced at $5. After they find their pants and shirts, they can go to their accessories and shoes, which are priced at $6, belts, hats, ties, and anything else they might need to complete their outfits. We have a beautiful houseware section in the back of the store where you'll find your decorative items, collectibles, anything that you see on this table, you'll find in our housewares department. Great kitchen gadgets, And again, they're one of a kind. So if you see it and you like it, buy it when you see it. And let's see. We also have books, CDs, movies, conveniently priced at only $2. So again, great bargain. So come in and check them out. And then when you're all done making your purchases, you can come to our checkout counter where we've just inaugurated our iPad Square system so that we can track your purchases. And again, we accept check, credit card, and of course, cash.
Well, it sounds like a professionally run store, really. But Patty, I understand you're staffed entirely by volunteers.
Yes, we are.
And so tell me a little bit about the volunteers you have and what kinds of jobs they can do if anybody wants to volunteer if they see this.
We have many helping hands. We currently have over 80 active and over 30 associate members. Each person who is active is required to work in the shop 1 3.5-hour shift a month and 2 Saturdays a year. They are going to either greet customers, help them with their donations, make the shop look presentable, keep things tidy, work the cash register when people are checking out. They're pretty much the face for the customer to help them out. But anybody who's looking for more volunteer work than just those shifts, we do have a lot of opportunity. We have many members that wear multiple hats. We have treasurers, secretaries, publicity people, newsletters, people that do training, work on schedules. We have a special events committee, decorators, pricers. There's a lot to be done.
So if somebody wants to volunteer, how would they get in contact with you?
Ellie Benson is our membership chair. You can come into the shop, 12 Station Street. We have a handout we can give you. You can leave your name and phone number with someone at the register, or you can call Ellie directly. Her phone number, I believe, is on the screen, and she'll be happy to go over any of the details as a volunteer. And before we let anybody work in the shop, you get thoroughly trained.
Well, it sounds like a great opportunity for someone. Susan, you're a pricing chair?
Yes,
Can you tell me a little bit about what you do as pricing chair?
I can. I oversee and sort the sorting and pricing of all the donations that come in. We take donations on a daily basis, and I have 13 volunteers that help me with all of this sorting and pricing, and they work on a daily basis.
How much time do you actually spend doing that?
We spend every day sorting and pricing. I personally am in the shop several days a week. We love donations. Bring it on. We take donations every day when we're open between the hours of 9:30 and 4. We even take items that are not seasonal items. Those items we can store for use in their appropriate season. We take all kinds of men's clothing, women's clothing, shoes, handbags, accessories like jewelry or scarves. We take linens and housewares and books, CDs, DVDs. All those things are important for our sales.
So when you accept these donations, do you want people to bring only sort of top quality things? Is that?
Absolutely. We look for very gently used or new items for our assortment. Those are the things that people are looking to buy.
And I know there's been some talk about prices, but generally, what are the prices for that you put on these items? How do you do that?
Yeah, well, many of our men's things are $5. Their shirts and their pants. Ladies' pants are $5. Shoes are generally $6, but we have just very reasonable prices because we are not a consignment shop. Our prices are much lower than consignment shops, and so you can get many housewares for $5 and under.
So I understand as pricing chair, you're also responsible for jewelry donations. How does that work?
Yes, we get lovely jewelry donations. We appreciate jewelry donations. We sell a lot of jewelry. The jewelry comes in, it gets sorted out and cleaned in solution and priced. If we have valuable items, we have a jeweler that we work in conjunction with, Ashley Jewelers on Day Hill Road in Windsor. They appraise things for us. They will repair some items for us, and they're so generous. They actually put brand new batteries in all of our donated watches.
Wow.
So when you're buying a watch from us for $10, and we have a couple of watches on display over there, it's actually like just buying the battery for the watch.
That's fabulous. I didn't know that. Joanne, you're the decorating chair.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit. First, tell me do you have a background in decorating, and tell me what you
No,
do
I
as
do not.
decorating chair.
I know I get asked that question all the time at the shop, but I don't. But I have always loved fashion and always did a lot of reading about fashion, and it's just been a passion of mine. So, so once I volunteered, it was easy for me to just kind of fall into doing some of those things at the shop. And so over the 7 years that we've been there, we now have an official decorating committee, and they consist of 12 very talented, hardworking women. And what we do is they will, above and beyond their regular shop duties, they dedicate extra time, come in to dress the mannequins, make displays, anything that will make the merchandise look better. Also, in addition to that, 1 or 2 times a year, the Second Chance Shop is the business of the month at the Liberty Bank in Simsbury. And the committee members will come in, much like you see here today, set up a table like this, dress a mannequin, and have information about the shop. So as the customers are waiting in line, they can shop and read about us. And it's been very well received by the customers. And many of our items have tried to be purchased right there while they're doing their baking business. Another thing we like to say too is that the shop right now is very on par with the old is new again, recycle and reuse trend going on in the world. It's not only cool to shop secondhand, but it's responsible, fun, and challenging. And let's face it, who doesn't like to save some money? So we also have fun in the shop. We have a large group of regular customers, and we often see groups of women coming in who are doing what we call the thrift circuit, traveling around the valley looking for some great buys. So in the end, the decorating committee and all the board members, we like to think that our hard work and efforts have elevated the Second Chance Shop to a successful thrift boutique.
That's really what it's like. You're absolutely right. Susan, I want to go back 1 second to you, because what I didn't ask was what happens to unsaleable items.
Yeah, sometimes we do get some donations where there are some things in them that are unsellable, and that's perfectly okay. We have the Salvation Army comes and picks up those items from us once a week, and we give them to the Salvation Army, so they're also being regifted. We're not throwing them in the trash. They're traveling down the chain of gifting the items.
Well, that's good to know. I'm going to take a moment to introduce a surprise guest who came from the state capitol to SCTV studios here to talk about the Village for Families and Children. He's State Senator Derek Slapp, who represents West Hartford, among other communities. But he came to talk as vice president of the advancement for the Village for Families and Children, which is what you support. So let's listen to what Derek had to say.
Hi, my name is Derek Slapp, and I work at the Village for Families and Children. And I want to take just a moment to recognize the very important role that Simsbury's Second Chance Shop plays in helping us fulfill our mission, and that's to help children and families who are suffering from trauma and to prevent traumas. And for 65 years, the dedicated volunteers and members of the Simsbury Auxiliary have really helped us fulfill that mission by running this shop and by raising money, $2.5 million over those 65 years. And just last year, $125,000. And all that money goes right back to the Village and then to children and families who are in need all across the state of Connecticut. So I want to just take a moment to really honor the contributions of all the people who live in Simsbury who have supported the shop and the volunteers and members of the Simsbury Auxiliary. We couldn't do it without you. And to the town of Simsbury, happy birthday.
Okay, Patty, back to you. You've talked a lot about how much hard work you do, but I get a sense that you're also friends and that you sort of have fun together sometimes.
Oh, yes, we certainly do. We do some really fun events each year. Some of them are fundraisers, and some of them are events that just show appreciation for our membership. We have a phenomenal special events committee run by Joyce Banks and Doris Roth, and 15 members. And these ladies are incredibly talented. They know how to make any event feel special. They focus on the menus, the decor, the napkin selection. It all plays a big part in the whole ambiance of whatever it is they're pulling together. And you do feel like you're attending something very special. We have a fall kickoff dinner as an auxiliary. We do a winter holiday party that we also have a toy collection that we do for the village, and we do a little sing-along, and it's a lot of fun. It's a brunch. And then our biggest event is in the springtime, where we go to the Simsbury Inn. We have a spring luncheon auction, and guests come as well as auxiliary members. The auction items are bountiful. They're spectacular. The food and the display of our items is spectacular. It's an event that has grown over the years. Last year, we raised $10,000. Our attendance has doubled over the years for that event. People really want to be coming to it. If anybody's interested, Gail Korten is the person to contact about ticket information. Her number should be on the screen. It is wonderful. We also, as a group of auxiliary members, are also proud. It's when we give the village their annual check. And you can tell when we do the check presentation that the membership is proud, and the village is so incredibly grateful for the large amount of money that we're able to donate to them. So those are our three yearly events that we do. And then on top of that, we definitely have some fun outings too. We, over the years, we've gone to the Wadsworth Museum, we've gone to the Hillstead Museum, followed by lunch. Thomas Mock in town sponsored chalk painting for us. We've taken a class. And the Storybook Cottage, we tried our sleuthing skills in a mystery room with some tea. So we definitely do some fun things. And then one of my favorite things that we have, we're lucky and fortunate, the village sponsors. They're called Brunch and Learns. They have us come to the village. They provide a beautiful brunch, and they have speakers that really go into detail about the programs they're doing, the families that they're helping, the children that they're helping, and they're very heartfelt. And it really helps our auxiliary members feel connected to why we're even working at the shop, what that money goes to. And it's for our auxiliary as well as the other three, West Hartford, Suffield, and Glastonbury also have second chance shops, and we're all invited to the events twice a year.
Well, frankly, you've made it sound so incredibly inviting. I can't believe that you don't have people knocking down your door, because not only are you contributing to a good organization, but you can have fun. You're working hard, but you're also having fun. Sounds great. I didn't know that about you. So, Joanne, you've talked a lot about making changes to the shop and bringing more customers in. Can you just review quickly how you've done that?
Well, we feel that it's really important to keep the shop looking as fresh as possible and changing the outfits constantly so that, our regular customers, every time they come in, they see something new. And so that takes the whole committee to do that. And we have holidays all throughout the year. So every time, whether it's Valentine's Day or Easter or whatever, you'll come in. The first thing you'll see when you come into the shop is you'll see our mannequins outside dressed in that holiday fashion. And then you'll see decorative items in that holiday spirit as well. And we do that all year. And in addition to that, 3 times a year, we have what we call changeover. And that's when we empty the shop of all the merchandise and that did not sell. And then we start fresh. We clean the shop thoroughly. And then we start fresh with all new donations and start the cycle all over again. So currently, we are working on the spring changeover. And if you look at the table here, I brought some examples of the merchandise that we consistently have in stock. So it goes from beautiful crystal glasses, barware, vases, to dish sets, to jewelry, beautiful little pocketbooks for all kinds of events, photo albums and little decorative dishes. And then we also have a lot of different clothes. We brought a sample of a men's shirt and tie, which are very popular. And we brought some other stoneware and little pieces over there in the corner. And we also have a lot of cookware. We sell a lot of cookware at the shop, so people come in to get a new little gadget or whatever.
So I'm going to have to interrupt you, and I want Gail to just tell our viewers how they can find out more about your organization. We have just about half a minute left.
Oh, okay. To learn more about the Simsbury Second Chance Shop, please visit the website for the Village for Families and Children or our Instagram or Facebook page, which appear on the screen below. The shop also runs periodic sales, which are advertised on those sites as well as here on SCTV, the Yankee Flyer, the Valley Press, and you'll always see our big orange sign in the window advertising our sales. We also provide a 10% discount for seniors every Wednesday. And for the added convenience for our shoppers, we are open the first Thursday of the month from 4 o'clock to 7 p.m., October through June.
Well, this has been fabulous. Our time is up.
Okay.
I want to thank my Simsbury Auxiliary guests for coming and sharing your wonderful story with us. I hope that our viewers have been intrigued, those who haven't seen the shop before, or maybe reminded to come back. I also want to thank everyone here at SCTV for getting the show on the air. And finally, thank you for joining us. I'm Dominique Avery. See you next time for the Talk of Simsbury.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.